Right. We are here. Is it Monday? I've lost track completely of time.
It's a day ending in Y for sure.
Yeah, it's ending in Y. We've got a Mad Brits special because even though we're all over the world, I'm the only one actually in England. We thought a little bit of British sense of humour would definitely not go amiss. So we've got the gorgeous Dani, spiritual health coach.
Hang on. It's the gorgeous Mark Attwood.
Sorry. No. Sorry, no.
Gorgeous Mark Attwood and the brilliant Dani.
That wasn't how I was going to introduce you, Mark. It wasn't, but you have made my tail wag. So yeah, where's your tail?
My tail.
What happened to your tail?
I've not got a tail.
Why?
What are you talking about?
You've got a wig though. Get that wig on. Get that wig on.
Right, hang on.
Okay. Now I did have a pair of fantastic glasses with a huge.
Oh my God.
Sean, the sheep. Hello, Sean. How are you today, you miserable bugger? Say hello to the boys and girls. Well, God, if that was a screen test, you'd fail miserably, Catherine Edwards.
Catherine, now actually, I'm a very serious sheep. And I think I need a counselling session because everyone's been really horrible.
Oh, I almost fancy you.
And they keep insulting our sheep and calling these stupid human sheep. And I'm going to put in an official complaint.
Yeah, no one cares. You got to see what Mark's got. Oh, can you see Mark's face right now? It's so sexy.
We are legion.
I don't know whether to put it back down again or not. Dani, will you take that awful mask off?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's stuck.
Look at the state of you.
It's stuck. Well, I was going to tell you, but I had an amazing pair of glasses. I've always had them every date. If there's ever a date, I will sit at the table and I will put the glasses on. And if the man doesn't laugh, there is no second date. So I'm at the airport coming through to Costa Rica from California, from Florida a few weeks ago. And it's horrible. Those TA guys sometimes need a kick up the arse. They are rude and aggressive for no reason. And, you know, I'm not the kind of, I'm really nice, but if you're going to be horrible on purpose, I'm going to smack you with my words. I had my Buddha. Oh, you can't see it because I've got my space screen on, but this Buddha in a bag, and I got pulled up, you know, when you put the trays through, and this man picked up the bag, and I said, there's a Buddha in that bag, meaning be careful, dude, you know. And I said, it's probably looked like a baby, like going through, and I kind of giggled, thinking that's terrible. And he looked at me and he turned around, and he went, "Ma'am, I do not care what is in the bag." I was like, "Oh, you miserable git. Well, look at you, you know." Anyway, so I opened the bag and starts taking out the Buddha. And then my fart gun's in there. So I said, "That's the fart gun." Right? And then I'm like, "Oh, I said the word gun." Well, he'll have to deal with it. So he's getting the fart gun out and he looks at it. And then I said, "Don't squeeze the trigger because it's very loud." Anyway, we're standing in front of like this wall with a tray table and a wall. And he looked up and I look up and there was a man up there looking down on us. And the man went, because I shouted out, "It's a fart gun." And he kind of pretended. I'm like, "Oh, you guys." Anyway, there was also a pair of glasses, big old nose, hairy eyebrows, right? Remember those glasses? I've had them for years. They're funny to me. And he took them. You stole them, you naughty TA man. I remember you. Yeah, what a twat. Now you can't get them in Costa Rica. I literally have to have somebody come out now and bring me the plastic.
I'll bring them. I will sacrifice and I will come over and see you and bring you some glasses. How about that? I'm
Lovely.
such a good friend.
You are such a good friend. And you have to bring the tail with you because, you know, Billy and all the monkeys that go through.
Exactly.
Billy will quite like you.
Do you guess what I was doing at the weekend?
What? I know. Let's have a proper guess before you tell us. So my guess is I'm going to guess that you got invited to dance with gnomes.
I do that every week.
Right. What's your guess, Dani?
I know that. I think that he was probably auditioning to play the head of the royal family. We need a new one.
We don't need any more royal families.
No.
Look at this.
Oh,
That's
you're
it.
opening something.
I cut a ribbon at an opening ceremony for a
darling.
healing centre.
Oh, that's
That's
special.
lovely. What sort of healing centre?
There's some guys I know that they just built a big log cabin and they've turned it into a healing centre. And they're not the only ones. There's people all around the island doing it at the same time. And I'm loving it because it's
Oh.
the very definition of sovereignty and building the world that we want without them. So that was really quite bizarre, because if you told me I'd be cutting ribbons or anything, I'd have pissed myself.
Well, so did we, didn't we, Dani?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've got to say that my T-shirt, without showing my humongous breasts off, says I'm only going to say what I want to put out into the universe. So now I must start being nice. So that's really exciting. And isn't it wonderful about when you're seeing these people? We've upset him now. He's gone.
He's going to get his boots.
I just got one of my T-shirts.
Oh,
that's good.
Oh,
That's really good.
The royal crown at the
my
top.
mummy though. I think it's so wonderful. I've met quite a few people recently that've been doing some really amazing things, and it's so wonderful to see people that are actually at community levels doing all these things, isn't it? So exciting.
Well, that's what We the People is.
Mm.
It's just, we just got to get on with it.
We really have, and I think the time is really now. I mean, one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys is, for me, what's been coming up for me a lot over the last week is seeing various things, which some I can talk about in here and some I can't. But I think a lot of the time it's the little things, the daily actions that people do with not necessarily in a conscious state that become habits that are making a huge difference to the consciousness that's putting out there into the world. I mean, what do you both think about that? And what sort of things have you perhaps changed in your little daily habits?
Well, I've changed a massive thing in my daily habits. I'm putting on the biggest conference in the entire world. The biggest conference in the entire world.
Well,
and I've got speakers like Alex Collier, Elena Danan, Brad Olson, Laura Eisenhower, Dr. Michael Salla, Ketsa Ra, who's a Mayan shaman elder, Huna Flash, who most of us know here. They know the Lemurian Rising Five, you know, the kingly elder from originally from a Maori indigenous upbringing in New Zealand, and others. And I'm like, we've got to get all of these beautiful indigenous galactic and spiritual people together in one place where everyone is sharing this true history of Earth and the solar system all together in one place. That's what I've been doing.
wow.
You know, ask for the little things.
Well,
we might as well.
Yeah, we'll just go then, shall we, Mark?
I said, get your coat, Mark.
Let's just go.
Get your coat.
Before we ask Mark, can you tell me where people can find out about that, Dani? Off you go.
Oh my God. He's off to milk a few cows, he is.
I'm off.
You're so cute.
That's
Oh,
a
so
sad
cute.
wag of my tail.
Oh.
Quick, we can talk about it now, Dani.
Okay, right.
Before we move on to Mark's little things, can you tell us, where can people find out about this, Dani? So how can we buy tickets? Where is it? When?
Okay, it's Orlando, Florida, October the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And it is a 3-day in-person. It is not on Zoom. We are getting on planes, cars, and trains, and we are getting our asses to be with each other, to meet each other, to hold energy, to hold space, to rise together. 3-day in person. So I don't want any emails like, can I get a 1-day pass? Can I do this? No, you can't. It is designed to bring people physically together and radiate that love and raise that consciousness. And like, I am blown away by the people who've said yes to speaking. I am blown away. And each person I know individually, and they are beautiful and they are giving of themselves, their lives. They radiate such a beautiful essence, and it's going to be incredible. Yeah, Orlando, Florida, October 21, 22, 23. And there's going to be people, I mean, there's a certain amount of, you can only have a certain amount of speakers. I mean, I want everyone I know, but there's also going to be people in the audience. And Mark, it's the first I've spoken to you, but I wanted to, we're going to be flagging up your beautiful poems, mate. That's got to happen. That's got to happen. And hopefully, I know Catherine's going to be attending in the audience. So's Janine, turn the page.
I might be. I can't guarantee at the moment.
Yeah.
It's busy time for Animals October. But I'm
so hard to pin down, that Catherine Edwards. I'm telling
you. I tell you, she is.
I don't know how the husband snagged her. He must have chased it for quite a long time.
She's always in the woods.
Actually, I will come on to a story about that. It's quite funny, but that's amazing, Dani. Well, I now feel insignificant, so I now need counselling.
Oh, come on. No, none of that British insecurity.
I think, Mark, what little things can you show us?
You insist. Well, when I did the thing on Saturday with the ribbon opening, we had this ceremony inside the place, and it's like I've just got complete clarity. I get this beautiful messages I'm getting and downloads and ships. I mean, I've seen, since I spoke to you, I've seen about 26 spaceships. I mean, it's just nuts and it's wonderful. And, that's changed my life. And what have I done? I've massively changed the way I eat in the last 3 months and the way that I exercise. And the best thing that I do is my red light sauna. That I can't go without that now. I love it.
I'm manifesting one of those.
Well, there's a link underneath the video. Every one of my videos on my channel, the best one in the world is made in Florida, funnily enough. Yeah, they're really, really good people. I'm speaking to them next week. Can
you share a bit about that for people that don't know this amazing healing infrared technology, please? I think that'd be really useful.
Infrared's one part of it, which is basically the light goes into you and heats you from the inside, and it's incredibly good at detoxifying, especially from heavy metals. But it charges you, so it puts more light into every cell in your body. But there's also red light, which I'm really fascinated by, which is this is the most powerful red light therapy gun ever made.
I'm going to dispute that, but don't worry, we won't argue on screen.
Well, no, this is a prototype. You can't get this. And red light is incredibly healing, and it makes you younger. It just rejuvenates you. It's just wonderful stuff. And you only need 5-10 minutes a day, and you're good to go. But I am gearing up for a trip to the UK. I'm going to come and do a little tour and hopefully meet Catherine. I'm doing Charlie Ward's show on the 8th of, what do you call it? The Great Awakening Tour, and I'm hosting it.
8th of May.
8th of May, yeah.
That's my mum's birthday.
But this is coming back to the same thing that Dani just said. For me, I just want to meet these people. I've only ever met Alpa. I've never met anybody else that's involved in this, and I want to actually just meet them, shake them by the hand, play some poems, make it an entertaining, fun day, and get everybody in the room and all that energy, because this is what was happening in the healing center the other day. People just came together, and the energy is like off the charts, and that's how we're all doing it. This job of going through this shift, it's all of us. It's not just people on YouTube. It's everybody.
Yeah.
And it is so important that we are getting together with people. That's why they wanted us 6 foot apart. That's why they wanted us to wear this, because they're it's futile. Nothing can stop this.
That's right. Nothing can stop what's happening. Absolutely.
I will definitely back up the red light therapy, because I've been working with red light therapy for about 10 years now. So professionally with the work I do with humans and animals. And also, it's interesting you were saying about the red light saunas, because my daughter and I last week, we did our manifesting boards and things, and she's so into her health and fitness, and we've got really into the Wim Hof method recently. So I've loved Wim Hof for years, but I have to confess I haven't been consistent because I hate the cold. I absolutely hate the cold. And a couple of things that have happened to me recently is, weirdly, only because I never watch television, but because I've loved Wim Hof for years, and a lot of my health buddies that I've known for years are really, really into him. And he's got a new series, I think it's on the BBC, with celebrities, and I never watch anything on BBC. I kid you not, it's brilliant, because it's the only one of these reality things I've seen. Okay, they're only 2 into it, and we all sat down to watch it because my family all love Wim Hof. And it's just brilliant, because so far it's only 2 into it, so I can't say what's going to happen from on, but they've really let him be himself, and they haven't manipulated and commercialized it at all, and it's really emotional to watch. So for the last couple of weeks we've got back into doing my daughter's living at home at the moment, so my husband, my daughter and I are doing the breathing exercises and the cold showers, and I kid you not how much of a difference. So leading on from the cold showers and the plunging, we were saying, right, because Lois and I, my daughter, have wanted one of the infrared saunas for ages. And again, all my health buddies are into it. So that's now gone on our vision board. But the red light therapy is just amazing. We should do a separate chat about that, Mark, because it's something that's accessible in various forms for everyone. And the results with the animals are just incredible. I mean, you can use it in so many different ways. So I use it on acupoints, so using light therapy to rebalance the body, using acupoints as well. It's just incredible.
Yeah,
it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. But the other thing I did yesterday that I wanted to share, lovely, and the blue light and the green light.
Yeah, so it's like acupressure points here, Chinese acupressure mixed with the light therapy. I should put
absolutely incredible. And then the other thing I did yesterday, which really just reminded me how important it was, is we had an event here that my friend, I was hopeless. I never look at what the local events are, but obviously I've got my horses or ponies. And there was something called Horseman Sunday, and it was a celebration of horses, and it was the most beautiful thing. So we had it's like a couple of hours ride, the most beautiful weather. I'll put a video up later about it, because my lovely friend Andrew's summer, I sent her loads of pictures and she's put them all together in a little video. But it was so special because we hacked up to this beautiful little church in the middle of nowhere. It's on top of this beautiful hill. I might walk you up here, Mark, when you come over. And there were all these different horses there. I took Romeo, and I don't ride him with a bit in or anything like that, and he's got no shoes on, and he just loved it. And then they got blessed in the most beautiful little ceremony, and it was just a real celebration of the relationship between humans and horses and nature. And it was just stunning, and it really reminded me just how much the animals really give and how much they put up with from us humans, it really did. So it was a really emotional day, actually, and just really, really, really grounding in every sense of the word.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love the fact that they're all being honored. And here in Costa Rica, I went with a girlfriend to San Jose last weekend, the capital.
Do you know the way?
To San Francisco, yeah, baby. So we're going to San Jose in Costa Rica, and to meet her beautiful stallion that she's rescued. And he had terrible feet when she got him. Anyway, turns out he's some kind of highfalutin thoroughbred, beautiful. And he's a sweet boy. He's only about 15 hands, sort of a kind of a polo pony. But the horse next to him just moved my soul. This horse, his name is Atlas, and he is humongous. And he's a full-bred Andalusian, but he was like a dark chestnut with a black mane. And he just, the way he looked at me, and his ears, he's stunning, like different shaped ears. And there was something about him, and I looked at him, and then he winced. I'm like, oh my God. You could tell the minute he let a feeling come, he frightened. And I said to the girl who was running the stables, the woman, I said, that horse there, I said, he's gone through trauma, hasn't she? She said, oh my God, Dani. Oh my God. So it's been ages, like just standing in front of him and just sending him love and telling him how beautiful and how special. And he started getting a bit frisky, like, oh, I'm great. I am all that and a bag of chips. I always knew it, Yeah, it was quite lovely. And then he starts doing the, when they start smelling, because some of the fillies were kind of, and it was very exciting. It was a very exciting, and I'm, as we discussed before, really obsessed with horses in particular, definitely. Someone out there's going, oh, those bloody British girls and their bloody horses, bloody silver spoons. Actually, no, kiss my butt, work my ass off to buy my horses. So yeah, very proud of that. Fingers to bone.
And one of mine's wild off the forest. So I got him for £300, right? Because otherwise a lot of them end up in the meat market, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
I mean, I got mine from a very, very good, there's certain people that have licenses to run the horses wild off the forest, but unfortunately a lot of the young males, because they can only let so many stallions out running at once, otherwise they cause trouble. But yeah,
I've got 420 horses.
In an engine.
Yeah.
Horsepower.
Just not the same, Mark. I can't
Super
wait to take you out walking with the horse, with the little ponies when you come. So
I think you're like a ride in my supercharged 420 horse carriage. But I've never owned a horse, but I did have a donkey.
Ah, love donkeys so much. I'd love some
They're
donkeys.
amazing. They're amazing.
Absolutely amazing. The most beautiful, beautiful animals. So I think, it is, we started off saying about the little things, but one of the other things I want to ask is, what do you think, what have you learned, let's start with you, Mark, most about yourself over the last year?
Boundaries. I never had boundaries, and yeah, that's been my personal lesson, is trying to implement boundaries and being true to myself, and just being true all the time, which is it's just been amazing, because I've just been getting all this, I don't even know what you call it, I'm just getting all this information, and you can't ignore it, and this is why I started talking on YouTube, and I've seen the shifts, and it's so exciting, but it really is like going through this, it's just layers and layers and layers of stuff, and it's just been great to have the opportunity to go through that and meet amazing people like you that give sense to a lot of it, so I don't know if that's answered your question, but that's my
such an important thing, boundaries. Did I leave a message on your voicemail, Dani? Was it yours when I said I don't know whether I saw a big shit the other night? Yeah, so I messaged Dani, and I was going to, it was a joke, so I was trying to take a video for you, Mark, but it was a pathetic pinprick. But I'm pretty sure I'd go out and check my horses about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's gorgeous because it's in the middle of nowhere, so it's pitch black everywhere. And I'm pretty sure I saw a spaceship, but I can't see it because of the reflection.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
My friend sent me that on Saturday. And
wow.
my daughter saw it the other day, and she said, I saw exactly the same one, except it was metal. She sat and watched one at sunset.
Wow.
They're everywhere.
Well, my picture wasn't as good as that. But what happened, Mark, is it was pitch black. So it was up in the sky, and it looked like that sort of shape because of where the lights were. But there were lights and they were flashing. So when I looked at first of all, I thought it was just a plane. But the thing that didn't make sense at all, but you might be able to help me with this, is I watched it for about 5 minutes. And for about 5 minutes, it didn't move. So a plane would be moving across the sky like that. And so it was just stationary for about 5 minutes. And I watched it and I was like, I'm going to take a video for Mark. This has got to be a spaceship because it's not moving. How can it be a plane if it's not moving? And then just as I was about to get, because I was almost like standing there with my mouth open thinking, oh my God. And then just as I was about to get my camera out, it buggered off. It was incredible. And I was like, and then if I'd have seen it moving, I'd have thought it was just a plane, but it wasn't. It stood still for up in the sky for ages. Do they do that?
Mm-hmm.
I was one then.
Yeah. For sure.
I was out there saying, the horses weren't remotely bothered by it. They didn't react at all.
Yeah, there's no aggression in the electromagnetic field at that point. There's not a negative, malevolent, thing for the horses or animals to pick up on. Not at all. They just emit love. The most amazing one I saw recently was just out here in the mountain, the top of the sacred mountain, and it was hiding in the clouds. And it was the most beautiful. The top was almost curved over, kind of a silvery gray. And the front of it, it kind of went down in like a diamond shape. It was layers and layers of kind of curved windows, not circular, almost like an oblong, but with curved edges. And it went down and down. And then the front of it was kind of like a pinky mauve, like a light. It was really different. I've never seen a ship, and I've seen many like that. And I told my friend Elena Danan, who's 100% Galactic Federation of Worlds, and she came back and she confirmed with a being called Annex and said that
they've got her, Mark.
Oh no, she's been exterminated.
She obviously wasn't meant to tell us about that shit. They've come to get her.
This does happen. I have these conversations. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday. I said a word and then the phone just went. Just does that all the time. Come on, Dani, where are you?
Where are you? We want to hear what happened with this shit. But so many more people have seen them now. And do you know what I think, Mark? Because I think a lot of us have seen them for ages, but just didn't realise it. Because normally, until you posted those pictures recently, was it on your Telegram or wherever you posted them? I can't remember. And then when I looked at your pictures, I was like, bloody hell, I've seen them. But my mind had told me, oh, they must be planes.
Yeah, or satellites.
Or but then when I saw yours, then I started looking with a fresh pair of eyes. And it's so true about everything we're talking about, isn't it? It's when you open your mind and look with a more open mind without making a judgment straight away, then suddenly everything else opens up to you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Did I tell you the story about the time I saw the dragon or phoenix? I can't remember if we've talked about that before.
You mentioned it in one of our chats with Bryce, but tell us again. Yeah,
because I was remembering it the other day. Because I went to a place where I was yesterday, was a place called Tara Hill in the east coast of Ireland. It's very powerful energy there, and there's allegedly a dragon that lives in there, and locals have seen the dragon, and that reminded me of the time when I was just literally in the garden. Hi, Dani. And this huge white dragon type thing at 11 o'clock at night, flying at about 200 feet, came over the top of the heads of me and the friend that sent me this picture the other day. So there's two witnesses, and you kind of forget these things. This was what cracks me up. That's why I took those videos, and what you said about taking the video. I've never videoed them, right, until recently, because they basically waited for me to get the camera out before they started.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they were like, it's time to show people this now. And that's what this is all about. So it's not just about how open your mind is. It's also to do with your frequency and when you're ready, because I think we're all getting things revealed to us at the time that we're ready to have them revealed to us.
Completely. Daniel Craig, if you're watching, I'm ready and I'm waiting to reveal yourself to me.
Is that on your board?
Yes, it's on my vision board. It's a little bit weird. I do have a signed picture of him in my bedroom. So there you go.
Got a very understanding husband. You saw how I got bumped off there when I was talking about, I was just about to say, I'm going to say it too, because that's what happens. We are talking about flying craft. We're all seeing it. The whole world is seeing it. We are in the middle of disclosure, and it ain't stopping. And the ship I saw that Elena Danan from the Galactic Federation of Worlds and Annex the Eggroth, there you go, goosebumps, truth bumps. It was a ship from the Intergalactic Federation of Worlds, because there are many different councils, there are many different groups on and off planet, right? Exactly. And they're all showing up. And it was lovely. And all I could hear from that craft telepathically was, we are here with you. We are here with you. It was amazing.
You know what I got from the last ship I saw? It was beautiful. It was like, would you like a pint, Mark? Would you like another pint? And I was like, I like these guys.
Mine's champagne, please. I do like champagne. I know that makes me officially posh, but it doesn't give me a hangover at all. So something, my body's just like, yeah, give it to me.
Elena talks about this drink that they have that's really healthy, but it makes them high. And I'm like, I want some of that.
I'll have some of that, please.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be, that's going to be, I feel like a phase we're moving into, because booze really does lower your vibration. And we're all, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but all of a sudden I'm now full on vegetarian. I was saying to Janine Steffens from Turn the Page, I went out, I had like one drink and I was buzzed. I'm like, oh no, oh dear. Normally it's a bottle, and I'm like, yeah, no problem, yeah, and I think our bodies are getting lighter, they're less dense. I can't eat anything meat-wise. It's just everything's changing, and more sensitivity. It's just, because we are ascending as our planet is ascending. This beautiful girl behind me here, we also are ascending with her. So we're going to get those symptoms and physical changes. And it's just so amazing to observe all of that, isn't it?
I'm definitely come together. I mean, Mark, I've seen you speak to Sherry Divband, really lovely lady who's doing such amazing praises. So her and I have been connecting quite a lot recently, and also Lucy Davis, who you connect with. because there's so much coming out now on, I love you guys and speaking to you guys because you have got the galactic connection. And then sort of I've been speaking with these other people who've been talking lots off camera as well about all the work that, lots of people have been doing work with animals, but now the shift is changing and we're not using the animals to help cure the humans. We're really realizing the overall connectiveness and how it's a symbiotic relationship that we're all working with together. So rather than, there's a lot of people that do equine assisted therapies and things like this, and I'm not knocking them, but a lot of the time it's still with the energy of like the animals are helping the humans and there's nothing given back to the animals. And now we're seeing the communication channels between, so not only are we seeing the galactic opening up a lot, but we're seeing the animal, human, the trees, the nature and everything, just everything opening up and communicating to people in completely different ways. And I just am so excited about this. It really is.
And there's magical things happening. Did you see the David Wilcock interview with Mike Adams recently?
Yeah.
About executive function.
Absolutely.
So I'll just tell Dani, Mr. Trump did a 400 and something yard hole in one recently, on the golf course, which was basically impossible, or billions to one. And David Wilcock was saying, this is, if you're resonating with the side of the good, then we are being upgraded. And one of these upgrades is called executive function, which is like a magical ability to do crazy stuff. And the bad guys who are resonating the other way are having the opposite happen. So they're losing their functions. So and this really resonated with me because it just resonates with me. And, I can feel these changes going on in myself physically. And it's pretty exciting because I think this may be, apart from being in the middle of disclosure, we're also upgrading as, to possibly crystalline beings, which I've still trying to wrap my head around, but I actually wrote a short story about that when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Tell us more, please. The insight from 12.
Well, it was just, I wrote a story about us changing from being carbon-based to crystalline-based. And I had none of this information, but it was a short story that I wrote in a competition at the school when I was a kid. Excuse me. I need I've been shouting a lot this weekend, so my throat's almost gone. Where was I? Yeah. So sorry. I think this is to do with the DNA, the things that have been stolen from us. So the other thing that I've learned in the last year is that on a multi-dimensional level, the bad guys, if you want to call them, they know what abilities you have, and they take them away from you. So they'll implant devices, and they'll do all sorts of things to you, and they'll hide them. And so when you come here, we're all basically have been disabled, from whatever 100% is down to like 3%. So the potential of where we're going to go is also amazing. And as like Alex Collier says, we're genetic royalty to a lot of the guys watching us. And
yeah,
that's really incredibly exciting, isn't it?
It is. And, the one thing for me, the one thing for every single human to get, no matter who you be or what level you're at or what level you perceive yourself to be, the one generating energetic that overrides everything is love, joy, happiness, love, love, love. And no matter what technology, the bad motherfuckers who've interfered with us, and it's a reality, and anyone, if you want to switch off now, that's fine with me, bye. Because, I no longer waste time trying to convince, why would I do that? I spent my whole life in this realm of seeing the darkness, the demonics, the angelics, your Jesus, your Mary, all of that. And I'm at the point now, as a spiritual therapist qualified in both realms, I'm just speaking my mind, honey. Hey, kiss my ass. Because we got to stop caring, right? I really, truly don't care. Love you, move along, please. I got stuff to do. I got a big global conference to put on. We're just, seriously, it is time. And I think it's a beautiful time. And I feel it's our duty. I feel I speak for myself. I feel like I have a responsibility to share many of the things I would never talk on, years ago. You get the shit kicked out of you at school. Your parents are beating you, you idiot, you lie, you freak, you this, you that. Now it's like, well, no holding me back now. It's time. It's our duty to love kindly, to share deeply, and to love on everyone, and no matter where you are, that love vibration, the idiots, the the dark shitty turds that run my fucking planet, they have not yet conquered the power technology that will take that. They can't do anything about it. Best example of a human I know, and I haven't met her personally yet, Kathy O'Brien. So when I worked and see you guys, because we're all English, so Milton Keynes, I was working on a television channel there for 2 years. It was a spiritual channel. It was live. The public could call me live. I could counsel them live or do a reading or whatever. In the next studio, there was an amazing channel called Edge Media. This is 2008, 9, 10, 11, right? And this one time I watched this documentary, this woman, Kathy O'Brien, was saying how she'd been used as a CIA sex mole. Poor woman. The abuse is beyond, it's some of the worst abuse I've ever heard of, and I won't go into it here. It's too dreadful. God love that lady. And anyway, that she was looked after by a guy called Mark. He was her bodyguard, and he would take her to this president, this party, that the poor lady. But they fell in love. And as they were falling in love, her memories start to come back. So her brain that was shut down and held in this stasis of depression and fear and fright and fear of death, so the survival instincts, it disappeared. And it's just a really good example of human beings and how when we emote love, how everything breaks down. That will always be, has been, and still will be the failure of the dark ones who can still kiss my ass.
I just, so much of what you said there, can you see? The Iceman speaks, Wim Hof. I mean, so much of what you said, when you hear Joe Dispenza speak, when you hear Wim Hof speak, you know, when you were talking also, Mark, about what you were saying about turning into the crystalline, there's people out there now that everyone thinks are weird and wonderful, even though they've got huge followings, that are really doing such superhuman things already. And it's so within everyone's grasp. You know, we sometimes get quite a lot, I share quite a lot of health stuff, and you know, the standard thing is like, oh, I can't afford this or I can't afford that, but there's so much that you can do. And Mark and I love our, you know, new technology and the red arts and things like this, but also there's things you can do that do nothing, it costs you nothing. Everyone can take control of their breathing and go and plunge in a cold water somewhere. So wherever you're at, when you start doing some of these things and you start awakening these different parts of you, you know, we're all getting different awakenings in different areas because we've got sort of different passions and we're getting different messages from different places. But every single person watching this has got this if they start taking action and start using what they've got to the full ability.
Absolutely. You just reminded me, I did a Wim Hof weekend in Belfast about 3 years ago. And if anybody watching this, the guy is called Scott Riley, and it's near the Giant's Causeway, causewayliving.com. And it's such a great experience to go and do that. And, you know, what am I going to do? I'm going to sit in a bath of ice. And it sounds nuts and not that difficult, but actually, it's a big jump to sit in a bath of ice. And it was such a great experience. And my son's doing Wim Hof every morning because I come in, the shower's on cold. And I know that's when I know he's doing it. And he's in amazing shape. And he's living his best life. And he's training to sail around Ireland. He's going to be the youngest guy in the all-round Ireland sailing race.
Oh, how old is he?
17.
Oh, that's amazing. What a man for 17.
Because he got out of school. Because school was not serving him. School was not serving him. It's not serving any child anymore.
Not designed to. It's not designed to. No. It's designed to make them all ridiculous little slaves like we were. Here's the treadmill. Here's what you do. Yeah, no more. No more.
That's all over.
All out of school. Start your own centres.
Done.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for them because when you see that they're doing all this stuff now that might have taken us, you know, quite a long while to get into, they're just moving forward so much. I mean,
my 14-year-old girl is now learning to fly.
That's amazing.
Oh, excellent.
Well, I could fly before I could drive as well, but I could only do it because I found the Air Cadets, and that was great organisation for me. But she wants to fly, and I'm like, let's do it.
I do think the flying instructors must be the bravest people ever. Because I just can't even.
No. The bravest people ever are dads with 17-year-old sons.
Yeah.
learning to drive.
Oh, tell me about it. I've been of mine.
Stop shouting at me. I'm
Yeah.
not shouting at you. Stop the fucking car. Turn left. I told you to turn left. I mean, it's like that. I'm so sorry, son.
God.
Oh my God, I did that as well. Luckily, my husband's so laid back, is horizontal, so I just sent him out with them. What about you? The boundaries, I think, is such an important thing that you mentioned. What about you, Dani? What would you say you've learnt most about yourself over the last year?
About myself over the last year, I'm weirder than I knew myself to be. That's for definite. I have completely embraced that people say they don't see the things I do, and learned to recognize it as that, rather than there was always like, well, you know, trying to convince. I've completely stopped. No, I'm not convincing you. Why would I do that? It's a waste of time. I definitely know that losing the love of your life in a really violent way, when they just drop dead on you and you've planned the rest of your life, actually might not kill you, even though you think it will at the time. I think that us humans, our capacity to love, for me, definitely is just something I've even behold even more. So that's something else I've learned. I mean, I'm not in a relationship. I don't mean that kind of love. I mean, my beloved will always be my beloved. I mean that the general capacity for humanity to, to reset. Something really crazy happened the other night. The other day, I was with this amazing English girl here in Costa Rica. We were having a boozy lunch, and we were by the ocean. And for some reason, the entire ocean and the whole world stopped for 4 seconds. And it was a jolting, jostling, shocking. And I was aware it was like the world just stopped. And then she reset after 4 seconds. And I was like, because I'm right by the ocean. It's the Pacific. It's crazy. But something, it got my attention. I'm like, we're in it. Like, we're in it. That was the 24th. What's the date today? That was Saturday. I wrote it down. I think it was the 23rd or 24th at 6:40 p.m. in the evening. And yeah, it just stopped, and it was like she stopped and just kind of course corrected. And I wondered, is she? Because some people talk about the anti-clockwise now as opposed to the clockwise. Some people think there's a geometric shift in that way too, that the Earth might start rotating, or the universal contraction and extraction might also change. But we're all invited to consider these things and imagine and decipher for ourselves what we think is going on. But that really did jolt my nervous system in a good way. I'm like, oh. And I felt it, and I kind of went with it. I'm like, wow, that was cool. So I think, again, more sensitive to the energetics, I would say.
You know what you were just saying then about the rotation and everything? Well, you've got those pictures where you can look at them, and if you stare them long enough, it's going one way and then it goes the other way. Do you think that, both open question to both of you, that part of what we've told, like, water goes down the sink this way in the UK, that way in Australia, do you think it really does? Or do you think we just see it like that because we've been told that's the case? Because so much you see what you're told to see. And what you were saying about things like that, I mean, we're just all seeing completely different things now for the first time, well, or more regularly than we have done. I think it's all up for grabs.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I mean, we are the creators, and there's so many influences going on here that it's the nature of the matrix that I'm finding really interesting. Because when Dani was talking about that story, I remember sitting in my garden in Marrakesh one night, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, pitch black, and the whole sky went bright blue for a split second. And then it went down again, and we were sat there going, what the fuck was that? And I think I've traced it back to some technology that exists that we don't know about, but it happened twice that night. And it's just mind-boggling that, you go and see people the next day. So did you see what happened in the sky? And they were like, yeah. And then they just ignore it and forget about it. I mean, this is where, same with all the UFOs, people just look at them and they don't know what they're seeing. And it's, I even took a film crew to film some elementals in my friend's back garden last year, and the cameraman was filming them, and I said, aren't they amazing? And he was like, well, I'm not that convinced. I said, you're fucking filming them. What are you not convinced about? They're just there.
Oh my God.
It's like, it's the ships, isn't it? It's the ships over the tribe couldn't see because they didn't know what it was.
Yeah. There's so much our mind filters out, doesn't it? If we've decided at a subconscious level that we can't make sense for it to explain it, I think that's where personally the ego kicks in so much, because there's so much about adults that don't want to admit that they don't know it. I've been gobsmacked over the last year how difficult most adults find it to say I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that's amazing. I mean, I've been a teacher for however many years, and I still get. I was doing it the other day. I said, "You do understand what I mean by that, don't you?" And they go, "Yeah." I said, "Well, tell me." And then they tell you a load of shite, and I'm like, "Why didn't you just say that you don't know what it is? Because that's what we have to do. All of us have got to just own it." But it's a lot to do with the education system, and it's the TV, and it's all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's also conditioning as well, because if you take a kid who's been raised in a Baptist family, let's say, the underpinning programming in that child is fear of death or fear of going to hell. So when you start to challenge an adult, they're not even conscious that their unconscious grabs onto that threat that could happen to them because you've asked them a question that they've been programmed 40 years ago not to answer, and only go this way. Otherwise, you know what I mean? That these are the things also we need to gently take apart, put out there so people can disseminate. Oh, am I thinking this because I'm scared of going to hell, for example? Or am I just going to own my own mind, body, and soul and start actually expanding my mind because I'm allowed, because I give myself permission. And when I get to the pearly gates, I'm getting in because I can, because I'm part of that God spark, and there's no bloke at the gates going to stop me getting in. It's a load of bollocks. And time to call that shit out too. Faith is beautiful. Jesus, God, Hashem, Yahweh, 72 different names of different gods, all of that. Respect, love, 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 love. But come on, if you're going to let that own you, you know, who's behind that? Man is behind that. Who wrote the Bible? Man did. Did he? Yes, he did, Mrs. Yes, he did. It wasn't God. He didn't sit down and start. No, it was men. And you should look at the men that wrote the Bible. I'm sorry, one of them buggered his son to death, and that's an absolute fact. I met a man in Glastonbury. I know. I've stopped doing the rants. I've calmed down a lot.
I was smiling, enjoying that, and then you said that, and I was like, "Oh, they're all going to see me."
Saying, keep going. I was just my Benny Hill kicked in, and when you were talking about this, I just wanted Mark to stand out so we could spank him, because obviously he's mad, so we can blame him for everything.
That's all my fault.
Oh my God.
It's not. Oh it's not bad. It's my fault.
Yeah,
it is all. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to finish quickly. I was at the Glastonbury, the Avalon. I'm at the temple. No, I'm at the ruins of where Guinevere and Lancelot, or is it Guinevere and Arthur buried together? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's escaping me right now. But there was a bit of a trio going on between those three, as we know. And I'm standing there on this freezing cold day. I had the impulse to drive to Glastonbury from Hertfordshire, so I did. And I'm breathing all this energy, and I'm wondering, is this really true? Is this really where they're laid to rest? Apparently a monk said it's true. And this man comes over and just starts telling me all this stuff about the truth of the Bible. And it was just mind-blowing. And I thought, God, I could never say that, because people will be so offended. They're going to start crying and fall down and hate my face. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I've got a duty to, even if it's wrong, we still should be okay to think around it, think through it. And if it doesn't resonate, move along. But don't shoot the messenger. Don't hate the people that put themselves on the line like you two do every day, sharing love, sharing technology to help people. Like, people, if you don't like the content, just switch off and move along. You know, it's very simple. No one's making you watch any of us.
Well,
right? I'm truly coming from love.
No, I never understood. You know, people who moan about junk mail, people who get really upset about junk mail. I've never understood why they get upset. I just put it in the bin.
Exactly.
What's the big deal?
Goes to stuff like my wood burner. I mean, I need that paper. Or forget bedding.
But some people just get really agitated about things, and well, smoke a spliff. Shut up.
I can say, remember Wayne Dyer was, I love listening to Wayne Dyer.
He's great.
And he used to say that, you know, people will find hundreds of things a day to be offended about. And it's so true. And I don't know, everything just makes me laugh now, because all these things, you can just see it all the time. And, you know, there's quite a few things that do offend me still. So I'm not pretending I don't get offended by things, but at least when you recognize it, you can laugh about it and realize also when it's your shit and when it's sort of something else. I mean, I just came back from the supermarket and suddenly everywhere I was today, there were loads of people wearing bloody masks.
Oh no.
And where's that come from? It was really weird. But my daughter went a couple of days ago and she didn't have anyone. So it's obviously up and down. But today, I think people realized I needed defending. So it sent me at a time when I was wearing masks. So my God almighty. But yeah, there's a lot to be good about. Can we, just looking at the time, because us lot could rabbit on for ages, let's go around the table and say, what are we most excited about the moment?
Mark.
Dani.
Okay. I have to say right now, this second, I'm most excited about the conference, the Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection.com. I'll put the website out. I'll send it to you. I'm the most excited about that because that is going to give people a purpose, a passion, a destination. It's going to change their entire lives. It's going to bring them out. If you've been shut up for 2 years, you haven't had a vacation. It's Florida, baby. You're going to come to the event and you're going to vacay while you're there. You could do 4 girlfriends, 2 in a hotel room each, 4 in a hotel room. Make it fun, Mark. Calm down, Mark.
Was that a specific instruction for me? Right, okay. Where do I
sign up? That's hilarious. Naughty boy. But yes, I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about all of the different craft. I'm excited about my brothers and my sisters upstairs and downstairs really getting more insight. All of us owning our galactic DNA, those of us that connect to that. It's just beyond exciting. And it's a bit bumpy and it's a bit shit. But the gift at the end is all of us expanding. And that's what I'm the most excited about. Boom!
Fantastic. Right, follow that, Mark.
No, what she said.
Yeah. Okay, your outfit. You're
no,
not.
I've got. I think I've been on the ships, but I can't remember. And what I want to do is remember. That is actually the thing I'm most excited about because I want to fly one of these things. That's a bit, selfish of me, but
not at all.
I just agree with everything Dani said. The human potential. I'm incredibly passionate and passionately believe that everybody on this planet has limitless potential, and I just want to live in that world where everybody is cool and doing their shizzle. And there's no jealousy or bitterness, and there's nobody going hungry, and there's no war. This is what I want to. I can feel that future. That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to manifest. That's what I'm manifesting. I'm not trying to. I'm manifesting it, and that's where I want to be. And I know we're going there. And I'm trying to just enjoy the journey because embracing this journey, it's not been easy. This really has not been an easy couple of years for anybody. But now I'm trying to embrace it. And I think one of the keys to embrace it is to live in the present moment, live right now. Don't wait for anything. Just go. If you want something, or you want to be in a relationship, or you want to buy that car, just go and do it now. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
So why wait? Exactly.
Because when lots of us live in the, if you can, and I know some people would be shouting, I've not got enough money or whatever, but a lot of that is all to do with manifesting as well. I'm afraid to say, because I've proven it. I'm a council house kid. I made hundreds of millions of pounds in my years. It's not difficult, actually, which is why I got my courses. If you want to learn how to do things like that, go on my courses. But the deprogramming is the hard thing, right? And getting people to feel that, this kind of message that I'm saying will only be heard by the people that need to hear it anyway. But that's what I'm excited. That's what I'm excited about.
I would go with, but I'm going to both of you, things like that. So I am so excited about people releasing their full potential. We've had a lot of opportunity over the last few years for people to purge out a lot of their grief, a lot of their trauma, to vocalize it, normally in comments under YouTube videos. But I'm so, literally, this is why I keep my family take the piss out of me, because I say everything's exciting, but I do. And I think when, I've got the manifesting series, we've got Mark's courses, we've got Dani's conference, we're all sharing lots of stuff because we 100% know it's possible. And that's where I get really excited, is there's all these brilliant people out there that are sharing so much information for anyone that wants to grasp it with both hands and go with it. So I know I can fly, I can levitate. I know that, like you were saying on the spaceships, I 100% know I was in Atlantis, and it's this close to remembering a lot of secrets that we need to unlock for the current day, particularly when it comes to the animals. My family will have me committed to a psych ward now, as they've been trying for a long while. But no, in all seriousness, why I'm excited and why I love having these conversations and why we give up our time to do these is because I agree with you guys. Every single person out there has got unlimited potential, and you've got to take action, people, on an individual level to unlock it. You can, yes, I get lots of inspiration from lots of different people, but if you're not going to get off your backside and do something differently, you're not going to get different results. So that's what I'm excited about. I hope people have gotten pissed off enough now to actually do something themselves. And as you said, Mark, we are not waiting for anything. We're doing it and enjoying every minute ride.
Let's just get it done. Yeah.
Fantastic. What are we going to dress up as next time? I am, Dani, when I come to your conference, I'm so excited about dressing up as an alien. Can I dress up as an alien?
Yes, that's the point.
I love dressing up.
Yeah, come as yourself. Come as you feel. Come as you feel. Hang on, someone's trying to call me. How rude.
How dare they?
How dare they?
Well,
it's just, go ahead.
So we're going to have all Dani's links. Dani, you send them to Mark and I, so we can put the links below. We've got the links to Mark's courses below. You all know where to find me and sort of my animal courses and things. And just have fun and share with us in the comments below what you're doing and what you're excited about as well, because that really motivates other people, I think, as well.
It does.
Definitely. And hang on, sorry, happening again. And also I want to say to people, myself, like, you can come to me for a therapy session or a spiritual session just by going to my YouTube and then going to danispiritualtherapist.com. You can book a session. We can talk about anything you need to talk about to get your headgear shifted in a way that's going to make you feel incredible. If that's what you need right now, I'm putting that out there too. danispiritualtherapist.com.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Again?
Yeah.
We'll be back, folks. We'll be back. Have a brilliant day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and have fun. That's the most important thing. Take care. See you all soon. Thanks, guys.